A patient is given 2 tablets every 6 hours. How many tablets are given in 24 hours? So the same method, 2 tablets will equate 6 hours. Then you're looking for the number of tablets, you call it X, that equates what? 24 hours. You cross multiply, you have 6x equals 2 times 24. 6x equals 48. X equals 48 divided by 6. You have 8 tablets. And question 25 says a solution contains 4 parts salt to 6 parts water. What is the total amount if salt is 20 milliliter? Um, so you're gonna write 4 parts for salt. Let me just write salt equates how much? So you've been given the real amount of salt here, which is 20 milliliters, and 6 parts water is given for how much? We don't know. But mind you, what is the total amount if salt? So total amount, what it means is the total amount from here, that is the real amount of salt plus the real amount of water. So let's get the real amount of water first, which is X, then you add it with 20 milliliters, then you'll be able to get the total amount. So here, let's cross multiply this. You have 4x equals what? 20 times 6. 4x 4x equals what? 120. X equals what? 30. Oh, sorry for that. Okay. Oh, sorry. I think I'm at the edge. So X equals to 30 milliliters. But mind you, we're trying to look for the total amount, which is the salt plus 30 ml, which is what? So the answer for this is what? 50 ml. Total equals what? 50 ml, because you need to add the real amount of salt to the real amount of water. Then question 26 says if 7 out of 10 students passed, what is the percentage that passed? These are passed and passed. So 7 out of 10, that's 10, 7 over 10 um, passed. So that's going to be times 100, which is the percentage we're looking for. This is very straightforward. You get 70 percentage passed. But if you're looking for percentage of people who failed, then it's going to be 100 minus 70, which is 30%. So 30% failed, 70% passed. And adding that together, you have total of 100. The maximum value of percentage is 100. So you need to subtract if you're looking for number of students that failed. Question 27. The ratio of boys to girls in a class is 3:5. If there are 24 girls, how many boys are there? So you have boys, right? You have it as 3, and you have girls, you have it as 5. You're still going to equate. So how many boys are there? So we're looking for the number of boys, real value of boys, but we have the real values of girls. So the same method, cross multiply this. You have 5x equals what? 3 times 24, and you have 5x to be what? 72, whereby x equals 72 divided by 5, you have 14.4, which is approximately 15 boys. Number 28. A car travels 60 miles in 1.5 hours. What is its average speed? If you're familiar with physics questions, this is going to be very easy. Um, so the formula for speed is simply distance over time. So we have distance as 60 miles and you have time as 1.5 hours. So when you divide this, when you use your calculator, 60 divided by 1.5, you should get 40 miles per hour. Oh, sorry about that again. So 40 miles per hour. Yeah, that's it for that. Then for 29, you have a medication is dosed at 0.5 milligram per pound. How much for a 120 LB patient? You have 0.5 milligram per pound, which is LB. So how much for 120 LB patients? Even me looking at the units, you can easily just play with units in this kind of question. So you know when you multiply by 120 LB, which is times 120 LB, you can easily get the number in milligram. That is the amount in milligram. So because this LB can easily cancel this LB, you have your answer in milligram. So use your, sometimes you have to use units to know if you're doing the right thing. If you actually need to multiply, you need to divide. So you need to be very careful. Here you know you're looking for how much, which is the number, let's say the amount. So the LB, just let it cancel and get your answer in milligram. So 120 times 0.5, that's 60 milligram. Question 30. Question 30 says 20% of a class, if 20% of a class failed, this is a typo error. Oh no, sorry, this is not a typo error. It says if 20% of a class of 40, yes, of 40 failed, how many passed? So it's either you find it 20%, then subtract from 40, or you find, since you know the 20% of class failed, you can just say how many passed, how many percentage passed. That's 100% minus 20%, which is what 80% passed, right? So you can easily say 80 over 100 times 40 of the number of people in the class passed. You have this, we cancel this, we cancel this. Then you're left with 32 students passed out of 40. Number 31. A nurse gives 250 milliliter of IV fluid every 6 hours. How much in 24 hours? You can still use your values arrangement and cross multiplication here, just like we've been doing all the word problems we've been doing so far. You have 250 milliliter equates how many hours? 6 hours. And x, how much equates 24 hours? You cross multiply this, you have what? 6x equals 250 times 24. Oh, sorry about this. About 20 multiplied by 24, then 6x equals what? 250 times 24. You need to use a calculator and you get 600. X equals what? One. No, this is 24 times 24. Um, times 24. This is 6,000, and you have 1,000 milliliter. If you are asked to change to liters, this is gonna be 1 liter. Um, Question 32. If 8 apples costs, straight up, you don't need to waste time. 8 equates how much? 6.4. Then 5 apples what? Equates x. Then cross multiply. 8x equals what? 5 times 6.4. You have x as what? 5 times 6.4 divided by 8. You're gonna get $4 if you do your maths, if you use a calculator. Then question 33 says a dosage is 10 milligram per kg. How much for 25 kg patient? How much means they want you to look for milligram. We are looking at these units. Easily you can play with the units times kilogram. This 25 kilogram shows that kilogram has a kilogram and you still get a milligram. Because you're looking for milligram, so know that your answer is 10 milligram per kilogram times 25 kilogram of patients. Then you get what? 250 milligram. Question 34. A nurse earns 22.5 per hour. 22.5 per hour. How much for 36 hours of work? When you multiply by 36 hours, once it cancels hours, you have the amount in dollars. So 22.5 times 36, you're gonna get $810. And question 35, 1 gallon is 128 ounces. How many ounces is in 2.5 gallons? You've been given 1 gallon, which equates what? 128 ounces. Then you also have, so you're looking for ounces when your 2.5 gallon is given. Call the number of ounces in hex, call it x. So you have 8x equals what? 2.5 multiplied by 128. Your hex, after calculating, should give you 320 ounces.